For today's lecture, I will first go over what's expected of you for tomorrow's assignment regarding your paper topic. I will then briefly introduce John Doyle's account of the 2006 World Cup held in Germany, and then suggest how this tournament played an important role in the development of German national identity in the first decade of this century. First, to prepare your paper topic, please make sure that you read the detailed instructions provided on the home page of our course D2L website. You're going to write a paragraph, no more than a page, that includes a title, a description of your topic, a thesis, and finally a selection of 2 or 3 possible secondary sources. With regard to the topic, I've made several suggestions, and you can find them on the home page of our course website. But to be honest, you're welcome and in fact encouraged to come up with your own. These are just suggestions. Make sure that it is a topic that can be feasibly addressed in a 6-page paper. For example, the history of Brazilian soccer is out, but the role of Socrates in the history of a Brazilian soccer might be much more doable. So you see the difference here. Okay. For the thesis, remember that it is your central argument which you'll be trying to prove throughout your paper. As I've indicated in the instructions, you should make sure that it is an argument, i.e. a claim against which you can imagine a rational, logical person making a counter-argument. Using although in your thesis sentence is often helpful, as this sets up a ready-made for and against structure for your argument. For the secondary sources, please follow my step-by-step instructions provided in the form of a PowerPoint on both the home page and content page of the D2L website. And I've also put this PowerPoint on the content page as JPEGs because at least one of you had trouble opening up the PowerPoint. So you can now see it now. The resolution isn't great, but I hope it's still clear what I'm referring to. It's just a step-by-step guide on how to find library sources using the library website. For this paper, you will need to cite a total of about 4 sources. Let's just make it 4 sources, with a maximum of 2 primary sources, i.e. texts or films that we've discussed directly in class, and 2 secondary sources, i.e. critical texts that are written about those works. Okay. They can be books, they can be articles, they can be chapters. I would obviously recommend that you stick to articles and chapters because they're much easier to deal with than books. And I've also indicated in the step-by-step guide how you can limit your search to full text that are available fully electronically as PDFs, and that will make your search a lot easier, particularly if you're not on campus, which I imagine is the case with most of you. Now, to turn to Doyle's account, John Doyle's account of the 2006 World Cup, I think a soccer fan might be justified in feeling frustrated when reading this chapter. After all, Doyle's focus is very much on the experience of the fans rather than on the games themselves. Do we really need to know that he is mistreated by the Berlin hotel owner and yet hear nothing about the semi-final match between Germany and Italy? Notice that by the time the final comes round, Doyle is back in Toronto and watches Zidane's infamous, headbutt, like most of the rest of us, on TV. However, I do feel that this chapter nevertheless offers some valuable cultural insights, particularly with regard to Germany itself, the host nation. There is that lovely vignette of the young German couple sleeping in the street with the German flag, holding onto the German flag. Doyle doesn't expound on this image, but I think it's pretty clear what he's driving at here. A nation that had unleashed 2 world wars and the horrors of the Holocaust on the rest of the planet is now a benign and peaceful host to the other nations. A nation that was divided for 4 decades after the Second World War is now a unified member of the world community. And the flag, that symbol of national identity, can now be worn with pride, and take its place among the sea of national flags, paraded by fans from across the globe at the World Cup. Thanks very much. Bye.